Hi, everyone. Hi. 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 Hi, Mental. Hi, Third Word. I'm just waiting for that first ad to go through, which should be happening here in like the next 30 seconds or so. And then we'll get started. I also need to blow out this fucking candle. Yep, see, there it is. Ha ha ha. Called it. Ugh. Called that shit. As I feel it in the night, I hear the secrets that you keep. When you're talking in your sleep, I hear the secrets that you keep. When you're talking in your sleep, I hear the secrets that you keep. When you're talking in your sleep, I hear the secrets that you keep. The sex rits. Talking in your sleep. Oh, I'm so jealous. Everybody's at Anime Expo except for me. I found out my own brothers are at Anime Expo and didn't tell me. Dickheads. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh god, that candle. Oh god, that candle. No. Alright. I don't wanna be the one that I call baby. Hi, gang. Hi. How are we? I hope we're all having a good day. I know it's been so long since I've seen y'all. It's been like a whole 2 fucking days. But I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope y'all are having a good day. I want to be at Anime Expo, but then also I don't want to be at Anime Expo because it's so fucking crazy every year. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how busy they are. Ugh. It's ridiculous. But my brothers are there, so I'm trying to talk them into buying me Shoujo merch. Let me get this game booted up because I just realized I've never booted up this game before, so I need to open up Steam. Hi, Gore. Is the baby awake or is it just you? Oh, we just woke up. Both of y'all did. Dinner's on the stove. If y'all want some. Yum dinner. It's on the stove. It's really yummy. I already ate. She's in and out. Oh, me too, kiddo. Oh! Hold on. Give me 1 second. I just realized I forgot to install the game. When you wake up next to him in the middle of the night, in your head and your hands, you're nothing more than his wife. It's going good. How's America Day? I don't know. I don't celebrate. We did go and let Bunny go watch fireworks last night, though, because she's never seen them before. So we did do that, but I don't really celebrate, so. I don't feel so. The game we're gonna play today hasn't actually downloaded. A fucking Elden Ring? Not now. Now is not the time, Elden Ring. We'll get to it. I shut Steam. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be all so dramatic. But I thought we'd play a nice little in-between game before we jump into our next Souls-like. So I bought a game called Donut County on sale, with the Steam sale. And we're gonna play it. I've watched YouTubers play it back when it came out like years ago. Years and years and years and years ago. But I've never played it myself, and it's not a very long game. Honestly, we could probably finish it today or tomorrow on stream. Like, we could probably finish it in like 1 or 2 streams. But I just wanted a little break section in between Souls-like games. Donut County? Is that where Ace went? Yep, that's exactly where Ace went. Alright, let's get this game booted up. Gore, how was your nap? After the boom, I won't be losing. I wanna fade away with you. I could be loved. Could have been longer. Y'all were asleep for like an hour and a half. What do you mean? See when you fall on me like night. Oh, I just realized I did not set the audio for y'all. See, I knew I was forgetting something. We gotta add Donut County. There we go. Alright, that was a little loud. Okay. This is Donut County, everyone! Oh, Donut County. For those of you who don't know, this is a game where you own a donut shop. And it gets a little weird. Real quick, we are going to make it windowed. Just so that I can still do stuff around the game without it closing out. Okay. There we go. This is Donut County, everyone. We're doing something nice and relaxed today. We're starting out at Mira's house. Dog, dig a hole. Owner of the Dimsdale Demodome. Fuck yeah, baby! Also, hold on. I need to recalibrate real quick. Oh god, hold on. Whatever that did fucked me. Alright, there we go. Dig them holes, girl. I'm gonna dig them holes, boy. Alright, we're starting out at Mira's house. Finn Esposito presents. Mira! When are you coming into work? I'm bored. Mer. Mer. I love that I have a duck button. Quiet, BK. I'm dead. I've died. Please have some respect. LOL, why are you dead? The honking man woke me up again. At the honk of dawn. Honking, unbelievable. Don't worry. I'll revenge you. Be careful, dude. This guy really honks. Yeah, whatever. Come to the donut shop and stop feeding your dog bread. He needs bread to live, BK. He's a certified loaf. Me too. Alright, I'm leaving in 5 minutes. Bye. Ooh. The honker. Welcome to Donut County, baby. Here, we make a whole lot of a mess with a hole. Man, I love holes. Eat him. Oh, fuck me. Get him before he drives away. Fuck him up. Yeah, flip him over. Oh, shit. Flip him. Hold on. Eat him. Haha, honkin' man, you're mine now, bitch. Donut shop. Hey, BK. Dude, the honking stopped. Did you actually just do something to the honking man? Yeah, don't worry about him. I just delivered him a donut. Okay, lol. Well, I guess it distracted him. Hey, guess what? I'm level 9 now. Wow. Cool. You don't get it, Mira. At level 10, I earned my quadcopter. All right. Sick. Congrats. We're gonna buzz around like kings. Okay, see you soon, BK. Is this raccoon's name Burger King? 6 weeks later. Oh, damn. All right. Time jump. Mira. Ow. How could you smash my quadcopter? Who cares about your stupid quadcopter? How could you destroy the entire town? 999 feet below, Donut County. I've never destroyed anything! I'm kind! OMG, what? You used that stupid app to open up holes all over town. And now that we're all stuck underground. Everything here looks fine to me. Except my quadcopter! I'm the victim! Will someone back me up here? BK, it's obvious that you did it. I got swallowed by a hole right after I ordered a donut from your shop. What does that have to do with Mira smashing my quadcopter? Potter, what happened to your son? Oh, Pup. My sweet puppin' boy. He must still be up there somewhere. Oh my god. Potter's Rock. Left click to deploy the hole. Deploying hole. God, I love deploying hole. The name of my band. I've got a small rock band called Deploying Hole. Y'all ever heard of it? It's not the most popular, but it'll get there. You know, we're gonna be one of the greats for sure. I think, at least. Alright. Can I... Oh, yeah, baby. Care to show us sometime? Yeah. I'll let y'all in on some secret songs. Once the album's finished. Yeah, absolutely. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna take all your cacti. Why do you have so many cacti? Actually, you know what? Fuck your dog. Fuck your dog bowl. Ooh, fuck that. That's for me. Oh, I see. So he was outside. Which is how we, scooped him. What's your first album called? It's called, Whole or Nothing. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna snake these around you. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, give me that box. Ooh, yeah, oh. Yeah, boy! Why the fuck? Get in, I know you can. I know you can fit in my hole. I've got the fucking biggest hole in the West. Everybody is talking about my hole, so don't pretend like you can't fit in my hole. Because you absolutely can fit in my hole. I've got the largest hole in the West. I love your band's new song, Crowning. Oh, thank you so much. We worked so hard on that one. It was kind of like our magnum opus, you know? Some of the band members didn't want to do it. I thought they were kind of pussyfooting about it, but like, turned out to be so worth it. Turned out to be like the best song of our career. I think, at least. Oh, you sold your house? No, you didn't. It's in the hole. How do I get you? Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, it's so hot in there. Oh, it's getting so hot. Oh, no. What's gonna happen to you? Oh. Damn, we just put that dog in the air. Did you actually get sounds of women crowning from the background? Yeah, so crazy about that. It was actually me. I got pregnant and gave birth specifically just for the background of that song. I know it's hard to believe, but I really wanted to make it authentic to the best of my ability, but it felt wrong asking other women to do that for me. So I just decided to do it myself, you know? Thank you for noticing the dedication that goes into my craft. I really appreciate that. All right, come here, come here, come here. Get that fucking house in that hole. Yeah, boy. We just sent your puppy into outer space. Great delivery. Ooh. You may think there's loot inside because it says barrel, but it's full of spiders. Oh. Mid to the craft. I respect that. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's a free house. Don't let it get wet. Go in here if you want to get yelled at by coyotes. That's so true. Coffee rules. It burns your tongue and makes you go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Protects you from cows? Question mark? Do not try and wash cotton candy in the pool. This tip will save your life. Oh, is it because BK is a raccoon? You can make your own bones at home. I know. I do it every day. Drinking from this is like kissing a dog, but not as fun. Wow. Okay. So the sounds of making the baby from the song Piping Holes is just directly what leads into crowning. Yep, it's like a part 1, part 2. Exactly. It's a rock, don't try and eat it. Just a normal stove that you fill with mud. Potter and Pup used to live here. Damn. Used to. Sometimes you can find really good ideas inside. How many birds are you willing to fight for a bag of chips? Easy to knock over. Check the bottom for bugs. I don't know, it's a pot. Usually a good sign there's trash nearby. Spins mud around for fun. Another pot, wow. A hiding wall, good for peeking. Someone bought this sign in case you were thinking of buying it yourself. This tube lets you see spies. Doesn't help you catch them though. Makes your eyes cry when you stick your head in. Why would you do that? Child safety cactus. Climb inside for a free ride. Have a garbage day. It's like the opposite of my mantra. I just wanted to surprise Pup with a donut. Now he's floating away. A lone pup. Oh, happy 4th of July! To you as well. Sorry, I forget I'm American sometimes. No, he's not. If you got swallowed first, how do you know Pup is in the balloon? This story is full of holes. Your brain is full of holes. And so is the entire town, thanks to you. Just doing my job. Wait, I mean, not true. I'm innocent. Wait, Pup is in a hot air balloon? I saw a hot air balloon float by my ranger station. You saw Pup? Which way was he heading? I don't know. I got distracted. I had just ordered a donut. Nice. I get hungry when I'm anxious, lol. Anxious about what? Believe it or not, snakes. What the fuck? Ranger station. Deploying hole. Oh yeah, there are quite a few snakes out here. I can solve that problem for you though, if you'd like. How much are you willing to pay me to suck up some snakes, though? Because I do require a bit of a hearty payment. If you catch my drift. I don't be swallowing snakes for free. I just need us to understand that. Need to make that clear before we get into any shenanigans. I've got a family to feed. I can't just swallow snakes for free. You know, like... Not how any of this works. No, I'll just take that snake. Oh. Snake danger! Oh no. Snake danger! How much to swallow? Oh, well, you know. I guess it depends on the snake size. Excuse me. We're at peak snake danger, baby. Why were there snakes in there? Wait a minute. Why were there snakes in the snake danger sign? How does that make any sense? I didn't mean to hit your house, but here, you go first. Try not to get hit by that building on its way down. Be safe. Have a good one. Just gonna suck up all that. Oh yeah, look at the size of that gaping hole. Anyways. Great delivery! Alright, let's see. It's one thing to own a chicken, but 2 chickens? That's 2 things. Large mug for dirt lovers. Always on the wrong side of the fence. Gloves for your car. Tires are gloves for your car? That's crazy. With jail for freaks! A live spaghetti. A live spaghetti with the ability to hate. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Your chicken doesn't have a swing? Wow. No one knows what it says. Alright, tells you what temperature the snakes are. Snakes go to die here. Shaped to look like a big bird. Tune in to spy on the government. Do not get spotted. Have a garbage day. Have a garbage day. Alright, what are we arguing about now? LOL. It sounds like you should be thanking me for solving your snake problem. Wait. So it was you who opened up the holes? What? No. I'm just saying whoever did do it was totally doing you a solid. He's probably a really cool and nice guy. Did anyone else see Pup? Yep, I saw Pup. With my telescope. You mean my telescope? That's what I said. My telescope. Where did you see him? Well, me and Pepper were feuding again, so I moved my trailer to Mint River. He took a liking to this bird. Yep, a bird made for liking. I was admiring this bird till I was hit with a hunger. So I ordered a donut by way of this Donut County app. Then the hole came. Did a peach dig this hole? Hell yeah, I did, baby. I stitched. Alright, time to deploy the hole. A custom peach hole. Fuck yeah. Alright, I gotta take these fish from this dog. Sorry, dog. I'm taking all your fish. Why is the dog fucking... I think there's something wrong with this dog, y'all. Get in the hole. Get in the hole, dog. There's something wrong with you. I know you're a Frenchie, and like that's probably what's wrong with you. But there's definitely something more wrong with this dog. Oh, a liking to this bird, huh? What kind of liking are we talking about when we say you took a liking to this bird? Like, should I be concerned? Should I call someone for the bird? Ooh, can I take the water? Oh. Oh. I have the water now. Oh, the bird takes the water. If I feed it to the bird. Can I have your doghouse? Oh, I gotta feed all this water to this bird. Okay. Come drink, birdie. Anyways, Chad, who wants a custom peach hole? I know you do. I think it's okay to admit it. Alright, taking the water. How much are they? Ah, how much you offering? Well, here, you love this bird so much, now you can see this bird so clearly. Look, I'm just feeding the bird. Oh, well, we'll send that bird in with you. Yay! Great delivery. Portable outhouse. That's so rude. Ukulele piece. Half of a mouse guitar. Free sled. Press the buttons on top to select your flavor. You can tell a fish your secrets. They don't remember anything. Tell me how to get ate by a bird. Tell me. Yeah, how do you get ate by a bird? Have a garbage day. Have a garbage day. Where the donut holes grow. Wow. So are you saying you're like in love with a bird? Yep. Is that legal? BK, it's not about the bird. It is about the bird. Mira, it is about the bird. You're hopeless, dude. What? Huh? Huh? Hopeless! We're all hopeless now. Coyote! I thought you moved away to the desert. I did. BK must be targeting folks who are down on their luck. Coyote, you're the original owner of the Donut County donut shop, right? Yep, but it went out of business when the raccoons moved into town. I sold the raccoons the shop and moved out to the desert. Oh no. I'm sorry, Coyote. Can't be helped. A coyote's life is like a sad country tune. I made a modest living selling vegetables. Suppose it was my way of giving back to folks. Got a problem with bird loving? Yeah, bird loving's at an all-time high and it's kind of illegal. But whatever. Deploying hole. Coyote's watching me very closely. I wish he would not. It kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. I'm just gonna take your grass, if that's okay. So much for the tolerant left. Yeah, you know what? You make a good point. But how tolerant am I expected to be when, they're fucking a bird? Ooh, corn. Corn. Hell yeah, baby. Corn. Okay. Oh. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I made popcorn, y'all. I got a little too freaky with it. Sometimes you just get a little too freaky with it and you make popcorn. Alright, time to send this fucking coyote into a hell of his own making. Straight into the pits of Tartarus for you, Coyote. Goodbye, you fool. Take the sign. Oh, I can't take the sign. Take the fence post. It's not Pride Month anymore. Get your bird fucking out of here. Oh my god. Goodbye, Coyote. Oh. Look at that. Bird fucking is what's ruining America? Oh my god. Bird fucking is why they got rid of abortion. Oh my god. Rocks were given to us by aliens. Try washing yourself with soup. You might feel good. Fake house that's easy to steal from. Corn that was punished. If you make a crow mad, it will steal your credit card number. Have a garbage day. Anyways, that's my sad story. BK, don't you have something to say to Coyote? Yeah. Vegetables stink. Yeah. LOL. I mean, like an apology? I'm sorry you think vegetables taste good? Maybe they do stink. I suppose my sweet tooth was feeling lonesome, and that's why I ordered a donut from y'all. See, Mira? Why should I apologize for delivering this pathetic vegetable-eating coyote a donut? You wrecked his business. Twice. And stop saying you deliver donuts. What exactly do you think donuts are? Who can say? Exactly. Who can say? Roma gets it. What is a donut without a hole? Wow, very good question. We should really stop to ponder this for as long as possible. A donut without a hole is still a donut. Yeah, like jelly donuts, long johns, fritters, donut holes. Wait, donut holes don't have holes? They don't have holes, they are the holes. Wow, that's pretty deep. Don't change the subject, BK. Nikki, Roma, you two just moved to Hopper Springs, right? Yes, we moved out for our retirement. To watch the bunnies. Bunnies at heart, Nikki and I. Married 40 years. Did you order a donut too? Roma got a new phone. So we ordered donuts to celebrate. Do you think if I ask a crow nice enough, it'll give me people's credit card numbers? Oh, absolutely. Alright, say it with me, chat. Deploy the hole! Man, I hate to ruin the life of this, very nice lesbian couple, but, it's time for me to claim your rabbits. So, how unfortunate. Spread hole for twitch.tv.com. Sometimes you just want spread hole. Sometimes you just want to spread hole. What do I do about this? Oh, there's more up here. Come here. Oh, I see. Come here. Come here. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Come up. Come on. Good job. You made my hole even bigger. See, telling a rabbit that they made your hole bigger feels like a crime. Like, you're definitely going to prison for even just thinking that sentence. Never mind. That rabbit just made that other rabbit's hole bigger. I suppose. Oh, what? Huh? Sorry, I didn't realize that the rabbits were gonna start making each other have big holes. Oh god, they're about to do it again. Oh my god! Oh god, these rabbits are fucking. I'm in trouble. Please. Oh god, they're fucking. Oh! What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. Get back in there. Get back in there. These rabbits fucked too much. Get away. Get in. Get in. They fucked so much they broke the earth itself. Oh, to fuck so hard I break the earth. Zootopia was Disney's biggest mistake. Oh, absolutely. Great delivery. Somehow. Why is it so big? Carrots grow underground and therefore are extremely untrustworthy. Imagine loving carrots so much that you want to live inside of one. Bunnies love to chew on stuff because of their evil nature. Yeah, that's true. That's about my daughter, specifically. Bunnies want to destroy everything, and they don't know why. Cute, but I will not be fooled. There's no taste like fresh dirt. Dirt spoon. If you put seeds inside and water it every day, it's still boring. Clearly designed by aliens. You can step on this if you hate dirt. Early type of tablet from when it used to be a piece of furniture. Have a garbage day. Okay. It's really cute that you two are so in love. Night and day belong to love. It's true. This is extremely gross. You're gross. No, I'm not gross. You love trash. You love trash too. Everyone here loves trash. Why else would you all make so much of it? Are everyone's homes just trash to you? Yes? Don't say that about my trailer. Yeah, don't mess with Pepper. Yeah. What happened to your trailer, Pepper? Well, after me and Salt split, I went to Joshua Tree Park for some peace and quiet. I brought my laptop also to watch bird videos. Why are we jacking off to birds? What's happening in this universe? Why are we all jacking off to birds? I'm deploying my hole to get rid of you fucking bird fuckers. I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going. I do not like the fact that all these fucking bitches want to fuck birds. Give me more. Come on, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Hell yeah, baby. Alright, we gotta tip this table. What if I cooked you? That make you happy? Do you think Big Bird Rule 34 is a thing? Yes. Ooh. Well, I can guarantee that we won't be watching any more bird videos. Because of the fact that I just set fire to your computer. Can I not swallow any of these trees? What the fuck is happening? I can't get anything off of here. The table's not budging. Do I have to get him to give me more fire? Give me more coal? Oh yeah, give me more, give me more. Set your beak aflame! Set your beak aflame, little one! Can you burn the bird? I mean, its beak is currently on fire. Set your beak aflame. Like, set your heart aflame, but like, dumber. Burn the trees? Oh, yep. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna take those. Don't mind if I do. Thank you very much. Man, I thought I was just digging holes. Turns out, committing arson. Who would have fucking guessed? Arson was on my list of things to do today. Yeah, you look away. Look away. It's not safe here. It's not safe here. I have to set everything on fire. You know how it is. I don't have a choice. Yeah, this is gore for Yiggy. Oh no, my favorite character. Oh, that was gore of my favorite character. God, I lit everything on fire before setting it down there. That's insane. I'm so sorry, Pepper. Though, also, you are a bird masturbator, so maybe not. Oh, that's gore of my comfort character. Thank you for knowing what I was trying to say. Oh, man. Oh. Barbecue batteries, root style of grass. Aliens. Mouse guitar. This one says best bros. A dumpster you can attach to your car. A dumpster you can drive. Oh my god. Have a garbage day. Question here. You didn't save the Joshua trees because you were too busy looking at bird videos? Well, they're hundreds of years old. So old. But you and your brother have issues, dude. Admit it. No, I wasn't looking at bird stuff that time, okay? Then what were you doing, Pepper? I was writing an email. To a bird? No, you trash sniffer. To my brother, Salt. Excuse me? I was writing an apology. I shouldn't have smashed your lava lamp. And I shouldn't have ate the lava. It was wrong of me. Pep! It's alright, dude. The lava's the best part. Aw. Aw. LOL. So, I reunited feuding brothers. Solved a civil servant snake problems. And given a child the gift of flight. I'm a hero. Hey, you. Hair guy. What? What do you do? I sell explosives. Whoa. Sweet! I mean, That sounds unsafe, dude. Concerned citizens would probably want your fireworks stand blown up. For safety. Oh no, I'll run my business completely above board. I have the most permits in Donut County. Playing with fireworks is safer than driving a car. Yeah, the featheries are wild. Deploying hole. Bro, you cannot have this much trash around your fireworks stand. This is a safety hazard. Oh my god, if I'm not careful, he's gonna blow something up. Dude, you gotta be so fucking for real right now. I kinda wanna see you blow something up though, so... Oh my fucking god. There it goes. Oh, okay, so I need to keep doing that until it pops something. Nah, it's completely safe. Yeah, sure it is. Scare the birds. Scare those birds right off of their perch. Get those bitches. I wanna see those bitches be scared. Because I have nothing else to grab, I don't think. As you see last night, babies laugh at fireworks, super safe. Look, our baby is an anomaly. She is not to be counted. Okay, so I'm blasting these off. I feel like I need to be blasting off. Oh, maybe I need to light it and then put it away. Yeah, boy. Ah, okay. I got the gist. We need to light it, grab it, stand underneath the birds, pop them. Get those birds. And then we light... Oh. I got the vibe. We light it, we grab it, we sit here, we blow that fucker up. Get that bitch! Oh, hold up, we gotta do it again. Get him! Gore, your fetish cannot be these birds, for the love of God. Get his ass! Oh, and now we got more corn. Got a picnic basket. I've killed this man. I set fire to the corn. Watch it pop as I watch my porn. Here it goes. Explosion! Explosion! Super safe. Totally didn't just kill that man. Great delivery! Everyone is weak to fire. Cliffs are a type of trap created by aliens. Happy 4th of July! Pew pew pew! Pew pew pew! Pew pew pew! You can't make me read. Not gonna do it. 99% of all seagulls are criminals. You can use fireworks to remove hair. Spice a candle store. Seagulls love french fries because it's the main crop of their homeland. Have a garbage day. Boom! I was just cleaning up the neighborhood. Who else has a gripe with me? I do. Well, my gripe is actually with Mira. Ooh. Now you're in for it, Mira. Coco? Well, Mira knows the details, but I figure everyone else should hear. Even the bird weirdos? Yes, tell them. I knew the raccoons were making the holes. I knew the whole time. Deploying hole. How many snakes would it take to defeat you? Big snakes? Venomous? Normal size. But you gotta fight in a tiny room. Okay. Probably 1,000 snakes. LOL. Okay, expect a shipment soon. You haven't looked into the disappearances yet. Have you? No. Salt hasn't answered his phone in days. Did you talk to Possum? He said he has info. Possum told me that the Earth is hollow. And flat. At the same time, somehow. Mira, you know, ever since those raccoons moved in, folks have been disappearing. And you work at their donut shop. I don't know, the raccoons treat me really well. And BK's my friend. I ordered a donut. Why? I want to see how they taste. I gotta go. I'll talk to you soon. Do raccoons dig holes? I'm actually not sure about that. It's a very good question, though. They might dig holes. Baby lizard. Yeah, get my hole, lizard. This is a lizard guzzling hole. This hole loves to guzzle some lizards. Come on, little guy, get in there. Yeah, that's right. Just spin yourself around until you're nice and small enough to fit in my hole. Fuck it up, little dude. Come on, you can go. You can go in. Yeah, very nice. Hi, Cerisian. Hey, you know, reptile holes. Come on, little man. Come on, you want to get in the hole so bad. You know you do. Alright, we're just gonna take this coffee. Try not to wake him for as long as possible. I will, however, be... Why did his tree fall apart like that? What the fuck? Okay, I might need to actually wake you up, because your tree just did some scary-ass shit I've never seen a tree do before in my life. You don't need that fan, do you? No? Okay. You don't need your radio either, I don't think. Yeah, it's a little loud. I'm just gonna take... Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and get him out of the way. You didn't do anything wrong, necessarily, but, you know. Yeah, the reptile hole. Why was there a xylophone up there? We got some tires. We got this man's whole house. Great delivery. I'm just delivering donuts. I don't understand. Book about something boring like collectible spoons. Keeps your hands warm. Has 999 unread emails. Punisher clothes for getting wet. The only good bird is a fake bird. A chair that wishes it was a bed. Put this in your house to keep things damp. Imagine if your feet were sticky all day. If I had sticky feet, I'd walk on the ceiling and scream. I'm going to get sticky feet. I'm going to do it. You can't stop me. Have a garbage day. Cloacas are weird. Yeah, reptile holes are kind of weird. Cloacas are definitely, strange. Alright. I'm so sorry, Coco. It was my fault you got put in the hole. I should have never taken the job with the raccoons. What the? I thought we were friends, dude. I thought we were too. But then you ruined my town. I don't get it! I tried to help when you asked me to. I bought the catapult upgrade for you, even though it's a waste of points. You told me that with the catapult you could launch everyone back out of the hole. Yet here we are, in the hole! Chickens are not a waste of points. Kiss Dollop on the head. You offended her. Fuck. No? Kiss her! Fuck! No! It's the least you can do. After stealing all of our eggs. I didn't steal the eggs! They fell! Through the ground. Just tell your story, Jellybean. Times are tough on the farm. I had to sell my prize rooster to make ends meet. Dollop was very upset. Dollop is such a cute name for a dog. No, she misses her husband. Is that BK or is that just some random ass raccoon? Because they keep saying the raccoon, so I have to imagine BK is not the only raccoon here. Here, let's just wiggle this around a little bit. There we go. Yeah, shoot that out. Take this fucking chicken. Come on. Top 10 holes? Ah, that's a good question. Why did you deliver a donut to Coco? He ordered one? LOL, what's the problem? BK, this is too much. 2. You have to buy the catapult upgrade right now and fix things. But I gotta save up for my quadcopter. Do it! You promised! Fine, fine. I'll fix everything. But you owe me. Bye! Ooh, tablet holder, beanbag chair, energy drinks, catapult. Buy the catapult. Oh. We got some fruit? Oh, we're just gonna take that chicken back. That's not at all. This catapult is meant to work, is it? Top 10 holes. They're all probably mine. My holes are pretty spectacular. If you didn't know, so... Alright, we've chucked her inside. Oh god, do I need to be catching these eggs? Hup! What's the point of me catching these eggs? Oh, I have to shoot them in there? Alright. Well, shit. Well, shit. Oh, I need one. Oh, I need to shoot it here. Because I need 3 eggs. Oh god, so many eggs. Holy shit. There are so many fucking eggs, man. Who sticks eggs in their holes? Raise their hand if you like to stick eggs in your holes. Oh, that had a button on the back of it. Is that a button? I don't know. It's in here now, so... Eggs in my holes. Eggs in my holes. Taking your whole farm, cause I got eggs in my holes. Eggs in my holes. I love eggs in my holes. Taking your whole farm, cause I've got eggs in my holes. Look at his little legs. Let's see. Good part of a donut. About the inside before you eat the rind? Old way of making holes. Have a garbage day. I had no idea you were such an opposition enthusiast. God, I forgot that that's what that's called. I would be so real with you. No jokes. I'm not. It grosses me out. I don't like it. You weren't even trying to help, BK. I was trying. It's hard to use the catapult. I think the hole's really only good for destroying things. It must be designed this way. Designed? Don't look at me. I didn't design it. But you used it. Well, what else could I use? I don't know. You could have used real donuts. Could a real donut have saved poor Bear Claw from certain doom? Saved me? You humiliated me! You were getting hunted by bees! I'm a hero. You ordered a donut to the middle of the forest? Yep. I guess it's suspicious that you'd offer to deliver donuts all the way out into the middle of the forest. Haunted by bees? Look. 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 It's a tough job. Sometimes you get hunted by bees. He's so right, though. Sometimes you do get hunted by bees. I have a position that is a bit niche. Oh, yeah, for real. It really is. Deploying hole to save a man from some bees. I mean, come on, gang. Have you ever been able to say that your hole saved a man from being attacked by bees? I didn't think so. My hole can do amazing things, gang. And I would ask that you not forget it. It's very important to me that the amazing things that my hole can do are not forgotten. Alright. Get him! The hole? Hell yeah, the hole, baby. Get his ass! Whoa! Shit. Whoa! Oh my god. Eat them bees! Eat them bees! And I'll just take your nice little bee house, beehive, bee homes. Look, if I can't have a house in this economy, neither can the bees. Yes, I would like a snow cone. I think that'd be very nice, actually. Thank you very much. Huh! Oh god damn, my frog's getting huge. I don't know if that's like a euphemism or not, but yeah, just my usual's fine. Get the man. Drag him in. Oh, we missed him. Get him! God damn it, frog. Get him! We have successfully garnered the frog. Man, we're so close. Bees are very hyper, but they like to kiss their mom's butts. Okay. Bees are always making dessert. Bees rent apartments from their mom. Me too. Rub this on your stuff to make it harder to steal. There are no games on it. It's out of gas. Have a garbage day. This game is so cute. What about me? Nobody asked about me. Did BK own you with a catapult too? No. Mm-hmm. You ruined my restaurant. Your restaurant stinks! LOL, yeah, it's grade D. How could you guys be called Salt and Pepper and not have an appreciation for soup? Boo! Calm down, nerds. What did BK do to your restaurant? While I was dealing with a slight bug problem, I was exhausted from rounding up bugs, so I ordered a donut. I'm sorry, you had bugs in your soup restaurant? Oh, good God almighty. Deploying the hole. Oh my god, what kind of bugs are these? These are fucking massive. What is wrong with the bugs out here? These are some of the biggest roaches I've ever seen. Yeah, these bugs are for the birds, for sure, for sure. Because what the fuck? Get in there. Get in the hole. The bugs can stay in the hole. Fuck the— oh. His head fell off. There's a bird in the kitchen! And he's not doing anything about the bugs? Bro, what the hell? No. 1 second, please. Yeah, I know the soup's nasty. A fucking roach got into it. What do you expect me to do about that? Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to salt and pepper the fucking soup, but there are roaches left and right in this bitch. God, y'all cook like also. Who created this dumbass form of fucking salt and pepper? No, 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 no. Give me some pepper. Give me some pep. Here, it's delicious. Good God. This restaurant sucks. This restaurant's for the birds, and not even in a good way, because even the birds don't want to eat these fucking roaches. Ugh. I don't care for bug soup, no. Do you like roach soup, sir? It's called cat soup. Cat soup my ass. What cat made this soup? I don't like my soup crunchy. I'm gonna be real honest with you, Chief. Yeah, put the whole restaurant in. Because there's no way that this shit passes, like, any maintenance or anything. Oh, shit. Get out. Alright, try again. Come on. There you go, baby. Also, who built this fucked up ass highway? Jesus. This town is obviously run by raccoons. This shit's fucked. I just realized I can click on all of them. I've unlocked the quadcopter. Report to Raccoon HQ for training. Soup has many health benefits if you sit in the pot long enough. That's me every time I take a bath. Let's see. What can I say? I hate it. Use this to wrap your food and you're done. Candles get better the more you have. At least 1,000 is a good starting point. I believe this as well. I literally just lit a candle back here right before I started streaming. Not a big deal. I got like 100 of these at home. Free food. Turns food into math. It's rude that I can't fit inside. Use salt to make food taste like the ocean, and pepper if your food tastes too good. That was me as a kid. You can let a bird cook, but don't let it feed you. Honk if you were a goose in your past life. Honk. Have a garbage day. I got food poisoning from cat soup. More than once. Yeah, I used to work there. It's pretty gross. Wow. Everything I do seems to have helped everyone. He's got a point, Mira. Maybe BK isn't too bad. Okay, everybody. We all know cat soup was a hole even before it got holed. So let's get back to the real problem here. Yeah, my 100% smashed quadcopter. Yeah, why did you smash it, Mira? Dude, I didn't want to smash it. I had to. Donut shop. Oh. Oh. Hello? Hello? Check this out. BK Squad. Wow. Oh yeah, no. Wow. Notice how the propellers spin really fast? That's how it flies. No kidding. And it only took 12 deliveries for me to get it. Can I see? Sure. Ooh. Be careful. Careful. Like this? A little lower? How about this? What are you doing? You're acting psycho! How can you brag about this stupid toy when you got it by destroying our friends' homes? They ordered donuts, dude! I give people what they want! This is pointless. BK, what's your password for this thing? I think it's 0451. Wait, no. I changed it to Bonky Kong. Thanks. By the way, you know what's at the bottom of these holes? I don't know. What are you doing? Teaching you a lesson. Uh-oh. Time to send little man into a hole, baby. A hole he will never forget. Mwahahaha. Alright, let's get him. Let's get it. Let's get in the holes. Whee! Bye, BK. Bye, me. I had to do it, dude. There was no other way to get through to you. You don't even know what it feels like to lose something you care about. I mean, I guess I get what you mean. You guys love your weird trash houses, and then I took them away by doing my job. Which, I guess, in this context, is an evil job. Nah, close enough. Will you help us get everyone out of the hole now? Ugh, okay, fine. Where do we start? LOL, I was hoping you would know. I'm sorry if I gave you the impression that I know stuff, but I know basically nothing. You've got to find Pup. If you guys can find Pup, we can use this hot air balloon to get back to the surface. Oh yeah, Pup! BK, can you look up Pup on your tablet? Of course. Tablet, please locate GPS data for a hot air balloon containing a pup. Hi, Morrison. How are you? I'm kidding. This thing doesn't have voice commands. You know who might be able to find Pup? Possum. No, no, no. Possum's too weird. He's weird, but you have to admit, Possum was right. The earth is hollow. If you know where he lives, I can get him. Yeah, just deliver a donut to the abandoned house. LOL, of course Possum squats at the abandoned house. I always thought it was haunted, but somehow this is worse. I did get the bear claws. Yeah, that's Possum. What the fuck? That was not a possum. Ooh, Sims. Sims is so much fun. I miss playing The Sims. I have not played The Sims in a very long time. Hey, can I have a candle? It's dark. Oh, that just made it darker. Actually, that was the worst idea I've ever had. Oh, that's a mask. Okay. What happens if I take all 3 candles? Ooh, a flashlight. Okay. Cool. Oh, why are there so many masks in here? I haven't done a Sim stream in a while. They weren't super popular back when I used to do them, but I did them pretty consistently for like almost a year. I might do another 100 Babies challenge or generational challenge or something like that, maybe. Or a rainbow challenge. I haven't done a rainbow challenge in a long time. I have to re-download all my mods, though, because I don't have them on this PC. They're all on my old PC. What the fuck was that? What the fuck just screamed at me? Hate it here. Just download a bunch of wild mods. Yeah, I probably should. It's been a really long time. Oh, it's a cat. That's what's screaming at me. I see. Hi, cat. I'll never forget when you made that guy die from fucking. Yeah, I made him a little too happy. I did a 100 baby challenge, and a guy got a little too happy from fucking me. and passed away. So, you know. Such is life. Wicked whims? I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that on Twitch. Twitch would, like, fucking yeet me into the abyss if I tried that. Unfortunately, because it is a fun mod. Yeah, apparently you can get too happy, and die. I was right! Uh-huh. Hollow Earth! Occam's Razor. Yep. How many hours do we have to listen to this? So, Possum, do you know how to locate Pup? Pup. I think I heard the cops looking for a dog in a hot air balloon. Where is he? I might be able to find out if I had a raccoon police scanner. OMG. PK, where can we get a raccoon police scanner? The police chief probably has one, but he's at Raccoon Lagoon today. It's his day off. PK, get your hand off your cock, sir. Let's wreck it. Mira, are you serious? Raccoon Lagoon is the happiest raccoon place on Raccoon Earth. It's got great tunes and water balloons. Raccoon Lagoon is the home of the fun flume that's fun for raccoons. You have no choice, BK. The flume is doomed. Fine, but you have to answer to the police chief when he's down here. Yeah, Gora, watch out. That's gonna be how you die. Alright, we're chucking a hole. Deploying hole. The police chief gets a day off to go to Raccoon Lagoon. How does that work? I mean, I guess everybody gets a day off. At least one day off a week, but still. Take that cone, and that, and that. And, that gate. Oh. What do I do? Ah. Get multiple water balloons. Oh, I see. Okay. We hit that bitch going up! And into the hole he goes for me. Don't mind if I do. I can just launch a fish. Why is launching a fish an option? I've been doing the 100 baby challenge. It is so much fun, honestly. I really love doing the 100 baby challenge. Sometimes I'll do like the 100 puppy challenge. Or if y'all have ever heard of the if y'all have ever heard of the like generations challenge, it's where like you have to use stuff from like the 70s and then the next generation is the 80s and then the 90s, or like people do that with the colors. It's the rainbow challenge. So it's like roughly the same thing, but you have to do it with like yay! But you have to do it with colors, so like everybody in the family has to be like red. And you have to like try and breathe the color out. I should probably install The Sims though. Look. You can do the 100 baby challenge with or without The Sims, truly. God knows I've been trying my best without. How many babies you at, Yiggs? Yeah, that's a good question. How many babies are you at? Can this fucking thing get in my hole? Thank you. 7.8? What the fuck happened? I love the raccoon. He's a menace. Uh-oh. Is he alive? Grab me the scanner. Guys, I could get in trouble for this. Trash King will take away my tablet if he finds out. Oh no! You gonna get grounded too? Will he drop you and all your friends into a weird cave? Okay, Okay, I get it. Possum, got anything on the scanner? One sec. Yes! Got it! Trouble continues at Raccoon HQ. It's a long story. One lost his dick. Oh my god. Day 3 of protesters. They have custom t-shirts now. That's not it. Donut County Donut Shop is missing. Investigation underway. Eyes out for delivery raccoon named BK. Ah! Turn it off! There's gotta be some news about Pup. Requesting backup on the 405. Hot air balloon causing traffic jam. That must be my pup! Got it. He's on the 405. Yes! We better hurry, BK. The cops are after him. The cops are after me! Calm down. It's okay, dude. I'll visit you in jail. What? I know. I'm a really good friend. But first, we have a delivery to make. Yeah, BK is such an iPad kid. Sorry, I'm fixing my nose piercing. BK is such an iPad kid. Oh, look at this tiny little mouse in his tiny little mouse car in fucking back-to-back traffic. Can I have your coffee? Okay, thanks, man. Alright, I'm gonna need you to, like... Come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Oh, yep, there you are. Mine. Oh, are we sure it's not these fucking raccoons causing the traffic, assholes? I'd like to say it's these fucking raccoons causing the traffic. Get out of your chair. Fuck you, get in the hole. No chair for you. Fuck you, get in the hole. How many raccoons do y'all think y'all can fit in your butthole? I'd say 2 if they squeezed real tight. Fugitive raccoon, he's dead! Oh, he's gonna be dead. Raccoons are really cute. That is so true. 7.8? That's a very specific number for you. Does that number have any significant meaning to you on this day, Yiggy? Ooh, donuts. Don't mind if I do. Oh, so we do sell, like, donuts. Like, normal-ass donuts. Good to know. Get his ass! Give me your camera. Hooah! Come here, bitch. Get him! Hold on. Get his ass! Hooah! Have y'all ever seen a raccoon? Yeah, we see them all the time out here. They're like crazy popular where we live. Oh shit. Is that a fucking albino raccoon? I don't know, I can fit a lot of raccoons in my holes, can you? Get him! Get him in your hole! Shit! I missed! Hell yeah. How many raccoons can you fit in your hole? Because I could fit 4. That's a fat ass raccoon. Anyways. We might as well just take all these cars too. Come on, drive into my gaping hole, gang. You know you want to. Oh yeah. Oh yes, this feels amazing. We cleared that traffic jam right up. Not a single problem. It has no significance. I was doing a bit for the baby thing, but I have no idea where it was going. Me. Hey, kid. Pup! You're safe. Arf! Okay, Pup, get out. I need this hot air balloon. I'm going up to save us. No way, dude. You can't go alone. You'll just run away. I'm coming with you. I'm coming too. In case we need to hack the mainframe. No. Yeah, don't. Just stay here. Arf! Hi, Gemma. Are you guys just leaving with no plan? We're going to talk to the leader of the raccoons. Trash King. We're going to do a boss fight and kick his butt. Dude, you always screw up the boss fight. You gotta follow my lead this time. Maybe just try talking to him first? We'll try. Good luck then. Thanks, Coco.
How are you doing today, Gemma? Hi, hi.
Damn, look at all these holes. Raccoon. Every time I hear a bark, I think it's a dog in your house. Okay, to be fair, there is a dog in my house.
Oh, thank you for the pets.
He's just currently asleep. He's actually asleep right next to me. Oh, big yawn. Wow, eerie. Doesn't feel that different up here. It's like we got replaced by raccoons. What? I already said I'm sorry. You don't have to rub it in. You think this is all my fault? I feel bad, but I can't undo what I did. DK, here's a tip. You're feeling guilty. I don't blame you for everything that raccoons do. You still want to be friends? I do. But if you want to be friends with me, don't make your guilt my problem. Oh yeah, and wash my car. Also, give my dog a bath. Deal. Me? Wash my car, give my dog a bath. There it is! Raccoon HQ. That's a nice-ass house. It's that thing on that on the old observatory hill. Wow, kinda looks like a big garbage can. I know. Cool, right? I guess it makes sense Trash King lives there. Let's go for it. Wow, it smells awful. Do you guys use, like, reverse air fresheners? Oh, home sweet home. LOL. Alright. You should call Trash King now. Try to convince him to help us fix everything. Are you kidding? I can't call him. It would be extremely awkward. Text him then. Fine. Hey. TK? Hello? Please never sniff into the mic again. Why not? Who is this? New phone. Who is this? Sorry, new phone! It's BK. I work for you. I was wondering, like, is it possible to undo some of the holes and give people their trash back? Okay, never mind. No problem. What's he saying? It didn't work, dude. I think he's mad at me. Dang. Whoops. You know what would be fun? Opening a hole and wrecking this place? LOL, yep. Let's do it. Bah. Okay, one hole coming up. Hole time. Fuck it up. Dun 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 dun. I work for you. Why can't I sniff into the mic? Sniffing into the mic is fun. Well, we tried. Oh well. Nothing else we can do, LOL. I can help. Possum, we told you to stay with everyone. You did, but I read between the lines. I can help you hack into the HQ security system. You can sneak a hole inside that way. How do we hack in? Just plug this into the security system. Whoa, sweet. We can use the catapult. Okay, here goes nothing then. Oh, this, you mean, oh, shit. Shit. You mean this security system? Whoop! Oh, there you go. Mic sniff. Alright, we're deploying a hole in the bathroom. We're taking him piss. Talking ASMR? I don't know how to do that. I never learned. Thanks, Queen. Yeah! Alright, there's gotta be... There's gotta be something we can grab in here. Oh, I can go out. Oh, look at this. Alright, I need to get some lab keys. I see how it is. Alright. Take that cell phone, take that plant, absolutely. Batteries are always gonna be important. Alright, into security we go. Why the fuck y'all just keeping this show on the floor? Oh, okay. Something I need's up there. Come here. Awesome. Hey, give me that. Thank you kindly. Alright, we gotta go back to the labs. Whoop! Hell yeah, baby! Oh, I actually, like, hurt my nose doing that. Welcome to the biology lab, new recruits. Donut County was home to very many rude, screaming beasts. Nobody knows why, the animals were just outside. It's our job to figure out the purpose of these nude creatures. Watch as our top raccoons extract the fat. I love that you can just launch raccoons at things. I do too, honestly. My nose might be bleeding, actually, from that sniff. That sniff may have gone a little too hard. Peach, not a certified sniffer? No, I'm a certified sniffer. I'm a little out of practice right now. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, we want to go down, over, grab. Very beautiful. Now we want to go over, up, grab. Oh, now I want to go down, over, grab. Is that a bad dragon? Yep. New and improved, baby. Alright, now we got these little fucks. Come here, back in. No, sweetie. Gotta go back in. Sorry, love. Okay, let's make our setup a little larger. There we go. Oh! Oh, so beautiful. Get him. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you gotta be a little heavier, huh? Alright, get yourself some of that. Sniffer, yeah, I'm a sniffer. I wish I could just throw a USB at my computer and it would go in. Me too, honestly. There we go. We got some wabbits. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're fucking, baby. They're fucking. Wish that were me. Sniffer sounds like a slur. What? Don't panic. It's just a rogue hole. This is literally very normal. I turn on the emergency lights because it's fun. Please finish filling out your waivers in the next 5 seconds. Oh yeah! Hell yeah, baby. Deploying hole. Did they at least use the bad dragon? I mean, they probably did. Look at all these fucking infants. Oh, my hole's right there. I got a new hole. New hole for new infant rabbits. Yeah, see, no, that just makes it sound like I'm gonna stick rabbits up my asshole, and that's not the case. Alright, into the prison pocket, gang. No, into the prison pocket. There we go. You are a big bitch. Whoop! New hole, who dis? Dis BK. Before raccoons, the people of Donut County produced a wide variety of trash. We believe each piece of trash had special significance. Our scientists study this trash round the clock so that we can learn to create our own someday. Let's see what they're up to. They are going into my prison pocket, is what they're doing. Come on, gang. Alright, give me that, give me that. Oh, yes. Donuts in the prison pocket. Oh, I can't fit this raccoon in there. Give me your iPad. I can't give- they won't give me their iPads, they just drop and cower like pussies? Whatever. Come on, get in the hole. In the hole with you. Gimme. Did y'all ever hear that story of the lady who actually stuffed infant rabbits in her hole? What? Maybe. Now that you bring it up, I may have heard about that, because that sounds vaguely familiar in the worst of ways. Nobody panic. Everything is fine. To whomever is driving this hole, please go away. I mean, I can work on it, I guess. I'm making a soup. Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. We don't want the bird to drink. No, we want the bird to drink. Because we want to blast fire in our hole? No. Okay, got it. Oh, fuck me! Sorry, my bad. She was mentally unwell and was giving birth to a baby rabbit she found in her yard. Yeah, I did hear about that. Thank you for the blessings. Come on. Yeah, get it, baby. Oh, wait. I was supposed to control where that went, I think. I was supposed to fire that off somewhere. My bad. You gotta ignite the firework. Yeah. I got that. Oh, bless me. I gotta shoot the firework into the lights, I think is what it is. We ignite it, grab it, fire it into the lights. Well, that concludes the tour. Attention hole driver, meet me in my office. Thank you. Aw, I'm a hole driver. I'll be driving your holes, baby. Anyway, it's time to deploy my hole. Man, I'm so cute. I'm such a cute little hole driver. Alright.
I am in deep distress because my nephew doesn't wanna go buy fireworks with me. I'm just gonna lay here and melt man's divs dead.
Aw, your nephew doesn't want to go buy fireworks? I'm sorry. But thank you so much for the 19-month sub. Jesus Christ, that's fucking a long-ass time. Thank you. I appreciate your contribution. But yeah, no, fireworks are so deadly and people lose their fingers all the time and they're awful for the environment and they stress out animals and veterans. And I think drone shows are better even though they're more expensive. So I kind of understand where your nephew's coming from, but I also understand wanting to spend time with your family on a holiday and doing the fun holiday things. So, I'm sorry. He's watching thirst traps on the TV. Gooner! Everybody point and laugh! Gooner! Gooner nephew! Gooner! Why is a 7-year-old watching thirst traps? What's happening? What's happening in your house? The Gooners are recruiting young, the true pedophiles. The right say the LGBTQ and the trans people are the pedophiles. No! It's the Gooners, because why is a 7-year-old watching thirst traps on TV? What the fuck is happening? BK, please report to my office right now. I'm opening up direct access for you alone, BK. We have urgent business. Whoa, he said my name. Are you sure you can handle him alone? He seems like he stinks. Yeah, he definitely stinks, but I can handle him. I thought about what you said earlier. This is my mess to clean up. It is, but you can always call me for backup. I appreciate it. Wish me luck. You don't need it. You're gonna kick butt. LOL, thanks, dude. There goes BK. Want a pickle? No, I'm here to get you to reverse the holes. Bring everyone back. Did you know you're the highest rated hole driver in Donut County? You're famous, BK. Whoa, really? Picture this, dude. Full-time employee status. Company stock. The company will take care of everything for you. They'll even wipe your butt. I hate wiping my butt. If you join me, you'll get to play with the real big boy toys. Ooh. The King Quadcopter. It has a cement cannon for tough construction jobs. It's the pickup truck of quadcopters. I mean, technically speaking, music video started it. That's fair. OMG. OMG. I have one more thing to show you. Follow me. Does the king have his hand stuck in that pickle jar? Hey possum. Do you have a bazooka? Or something that could blow up a bunch of quadcopters? Nah, but I can check the dark web when we get back. Never mind. Maybe they're just here for fun. Hurry up, PK. Yep, he's got his hand stuck in a pickle jar. That's where the holes comes from? Sick. PK, those nerds in the hot air balloon are holding you back. You gotta learn to put yourself first. You gotta reach in and take the pickle. What if my hand gets stuck? Like yours. Ha! It's not stuck. I could take it out whenever. It's meant to inspire you. Sign this. Wow. Branch manager. And I get health insurance? Yep. And of course, a brand new quadcopter. Huh. Alright. Hand me the pen. I heard Candy Shop for the first time. Oh, Candy Shop's such a good song. Uh-oh, that sound. It's a king quadcopter. We need to surrender, Mira. That thing can easily pop our balloon. Not if we blow it up first. Huh? I told you, I don't have a bazooka. And the Trash King has my hacking device. We're gonna use a hole. Trust me, it's designed to destroy stuff. Damn! The final boss, King Quadcopter. Give it. Oh, yeah. Give me that good, hard cement. Oh, I need the bombs. Okay, bet. Got it. Oh no. Alright, we gotta avoid the... Oh. Why can't I eat them? Ah, there's a little one. Got it. Ooh, some mint blocks.
Ah, you can't get me, bitch. Come on.
Oh, piss baby cement. It can't get me. Haha. Oh, he's dropping big bombs. Oh, drop me a little one. Oh, a little one just for me. Pa! I missed. Shit. Fuck. It got my ass. Yo, what the fuck? Leave me be. Leave me be, you trash ass bitch. You whack ass, trash ass fucking bitch. Alright, there we go. Alright, there's my little one. Come here, get in. Get in. Boom, baby! You're gonna scream all you want. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bitch. Give me the little. Give it. We know you have it. Give it to me. Oh, yep, there it is. Boom, bitch. King quadcopter. We destroyed it! All without BK's help. I can't believe he abandoned us. He sold us out. I'm not surprised. BK is a true capitalist. Well, I'm gonna kick his butt. I'll fix his quadcopter and smash it again. What was that? Oh god, it's back for round 2. It's back and it has a bazooka! Not fair! Don't blow us up! Ha 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 ha. You thought you could use my holes against me? Sorry, you thought you could use my holes against me is such a funny sentence. I'm the Trash King. I rule. I designed this app. Sorry to burst your balloon, but your friend BK took the pickle. Later, nerds, have fun. BK is just like me for real, for real. I love that. Sorry I'm late. I didn't take the pickle. BK! He's got the hacking device. We can hack into the quadcopter and take it apart. BK, hold still. I'm going to catapult you right into the quadcopter. Dodge the bazooka. Okay. Wait, don't let me get blown up. I mean, yeah, your own holes could be used against you. It's a very true statement. Oh god, it's hole on hole violence. Whoop! 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 One more! Boom, baby! Oh, yummy yum. Give it to me. Let me eat it. Mmm. So fucking yummy. I love eating things with my hole. Yes! It's whole mania, baby. Oh, yeah? It's gonna be the name of my first, on the blue website, and it's gonna be called Whole Mania. And it's just gonna be this playthrough. You guys ruined everything. I guess raccoons just can't cut it in Donut County. More like you can't cut it, dude. Yeah, LOL. Your company stinks. You ruined the neighborhood. BK, it's not about the company. Think about all the innocent raccoons that moved here. OMG, give me a break. The truth is, we're running out of trash. We first came to Donut County because the trash was plentiful. Now we have to keep opening up more holes to get less and less trash. I was looking out for us, dude. No, you weren't. You were just looking out for yourself. You didn't run out of trash, you ran out of people to steal from. What am I supposed to do? I have nothing now. Bring everyone back. Yeah, all our stuff too. Ugh. Ugh. It's so much work though. I'd have to build a huge catapult. If you do it, we'll tell you how to get your hand out of the pickle jar. Really? No. LOL. LOL. They're such goobers. Sorry, Gorgeous brought me a snow cone. I think it's ready. Okay, everyone. One at a time. Let's get moving. Thanks, Mira. And BK, stay out of trouble. Before I go, I have one request. Could you please not catapult any snakes back up there? I'll see what we can do. Nope, see ya! Damn, BK. It's been wild, y'all. Sorry again, guys. It's okay. We forgive you, Mira. Yeah, not you though, BK. Yeah, you stink. Okay, bye, whatever. Hey, Coyote. I was thinking. Huh? Would you like a job at our donut shop? We're going clean, I promise. Yeah, I suppose I'd like that. But I get to be your boss! LOL weird, but okay. God, this game is my sense of humor 100%. Thank you, Gore, for the snow cone. Only time. Huh? Who can say if things will ever get back to normal? Yeah, things probably won't feel normal for a while. No matter. We can sail and let the bunnies flow. Right. Well, sorry for the mess. It's okay. Take care, Mira. Mira. BK. Nice job belonging with that quadcopter, LOL. Haha, thanks. You know, I was thinking. I sure hope you don't mention anything to the cops about my explosives business. Morsel what? They would probably be pretty shocked to hear who destroyed the 405. And all the other stuff you guys blew up, you know? Just saying, as a friend. Okay. Well, thanks for threatening us. Later! I got a joke for you guys. Did you ever hear the one about the raccoon kissing the chicken? Nope. How does it go? Dude, I'm not gonna kiss your dirty chicken. Fuck! Well, it's been real. Yeah, a real waste of time. Thanks for introducing me to this frog, though. It's a cool frog. Pretty cool. I guess it all worked out. Okay, you can launch me now. Yeah, okay. Hey guys, stop by Cat Soup sometime, will ya? Sure. Are you gonna get rid of those bugs? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of a secret ingredient now. LOL, sweet. You should throw some apple cores and a fishbone in there. Make a garbage stew. Whoa, good idea. Ew. No. Ew. Go away. Mira is me. Sorry I doubted you, Possum. No sweat, Mira. You shouldn't trust what anyone tells you. Especially BK. Don't worry, I'll never trust him again. What? After all this? OMG, I'm kidding. See? You can't trust anyone on this flat, hollow earth. OMG, whatever. You know, it's gonna take a long time for me to forgive you guys. You messed up like every possible thing. I'm sorry, Coco. BK. I'm sorry too, Coco. You still want to go to the beach next weekend? Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Mira. Thanks for being so cool to me. And for showing me how to be good. And for your patience. And OMG! Okay, that's enough praise. I don't know. Maybe someday you'll make it up to me. After you do my laundry for 100 years. Praise me now. Well, okay. After spending so much time with you, I decided you stink only 75% as much as the Trash King. You still need a bath, though. You love my stink. I don't. I really don't. LOL. Would you do me the honor of pressing the launch button? Gladly. Too slow. Haha. And just like that, we've brought everybody back. And we are fixing the city. Welcome to the new and improved Donut County. We're making it better every day. This game is so fucking cute. It's not a long game. I mean, what? We've been here for like 2 hours. But it's so adorable. The music is so good. I don't know, man. I've just always loved this game. It's very comforting. And it's my exact sense of humor, too. might do something else for another hour or so. I don't really want to end quite yet. But I do have to like shower and do some stuff tonight, so I won't be up as late. I won't be streaming as late as I usually do. But I'll probably do something else for like another hour or so. I was hoping this game would get me through 3 hours, but not quite. Yeah, it's such unique humor, but it's so good. I love it so much. Boot up Elden Ring again. It has an update. Ooh, I could do Gooba Ball. Yeah. I could do Gooba. We haven't done Gooba in a minute. For mom and dad. But yeah, you can go back and play every level if you really wanted to. But yeah, no, we can do some Gooba Ball, listen to some music, chat, hang out. Let me get Gooba Ball booted up. Gooba Ball! I'll turn on some music. Alright, let's Gooba Ball. There's an update for Banana? What the fuck does Banana need an update for? Genuine question. I wanna fade away with you. Oh wait, could be lost. More banana levels. All right, there you go. Every time. Ugh, sorry. I'm burping. I'm eating a snow cone. It's making me burp. I am so sorry. Alright, Gooba Ball. Alright, we're in. Let's get it. Alright. I'm so bad at Gooba Ball, y'all. But like, I want to be good. You know? I want to get good. But I'm just not quite there yet. But soon, maybe. Don't forget to change your subject. Oh, fuck yeah, you're so right. Hold on. Gooba! Gooba Ball! Alright. We've updated. Thank you for the reminder, Gore. One of these days I need to teach you how you can do it. Be lost. No more than I was or than I was. When you fall on me like night. Is light. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can from mobile either, honestly. Boop. Boop. Alright, Gooba Ball is actually being kind to me today. Somehow. I don't know, I'm like, I'm in this weird place where I'm like, I'm so bummed that I'm not at Anime Expo, but then I see all the photos of how crowded Anime Expo is, and I'm like, maybe I'm not that bummed. You know, like, I'm like, no, I want to be at Anime Expo! But then I see like how busy they are, and I'm like, maybe it's okay. Maybe I'll live. It is where the bullshit starts. Shit, see, this is where the bullshit starts. Suika! Yep, we're playing a little bit of Suika since we finished, okay. Since we finished, donut. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. My fucking, oh no! Okay. I need to go slower. I think that's my issue with this game, is that sometimes you just need to go slow and wait to see where everything falls, but I'm like so impatient that I can't, ever. And it's gonna be the death of me. Can you roll that way? No. You sure you can't, like, do a cute little sexy roll that way? It sometimes takes up to 4 hours to get to the convention. I know! It's one of those things where more likely than not, I probably won't ever go to Anime Expo unless I'm, like, invited. Like, unless I'm, like, an invited creator. Just because of the fact that invited creators can sometimes get, like, around all of that. And get in, not necessarily, like, early, but, like, they can usually get in without as much of a hassle. Very nice. Very nice! They can usually just get in without as much of a hassle. So I probably wouldn't go unless, like, I was, like, an invited creator for that exact reason. But then I'd feel bad, like, going as an invited creator and then being like, come see me! Because then I'm just asking everybody else to do the thing that, like, I wouldn't want to do. Maybe I just overthink it, but I don't know. I'd be like, man, this fucking bitch asking me to come see her in a place that she doesn't even want to be, unless, like, she has an in to make it less obnoxious for her. Yeah, I guess that's true. Some people are willing to put up with it. I mean, they have to be, or else the convention wouldn't be as big as it is, I guess. That didn't work. That's true. It would be their choice to decide whether or not they wanted to come. Maybe I'm just a big baby. I haven't considered that. That maybe I'm just a big fucking baby and it's not all that. God, Gore's so right. I really haven't considered that as a possibility. Maybe I'm just baby. Ah, Gore! Be nice. Be nice to me. I know I'm big baby, but be nice. All I want to do is dance. Shit! I need to pay closer attention to what turns into what. Because I'm getting myself all fucked up over here. Shit. Very nice. With a fat ass. Ugh. Okay. Look good in all my photos. Oh no! Okay. I have to accept it. I have to accept it for what it is. I don't have to be happy about it. But I have to accept it for what it is. Just take me out, maybe. Take me out. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Shit! Ugh. Beat my score? I don't think I can. Alright, trying again. Alright. Look, all I'm gonna say is, you didn't even say nothing! What? Boy, you didn't even say nothing! Also, Gore, whenever you get a second, could you come get Merlin? He's panicking, and I don't know why. Okay, so you go do blue. I don't need to say anything! Ah! I'm baby, and Gore's making fun of me for it, and I don't appreciate it. Alright, let's see. Okay, so I need these to scooch. Okay, that wasn't at all what I wanted, but it's fine, I guess. It's not fine. It's not fine. None of this is fine. Alright. This is so awful. This isn't at all how I wanted this to go. Alright. We're gonna make it work. I'm not happy about it, but we're gonna do our best. Alright. Push that bitch down. Get that bitch. Alright. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stack that there. We're gonna stack that there. We're gonna stack that there. Alright. Hear me out. It's gonna sound crazy. Slap that there. Slap that there. Slap that there. Slap that there. What is that song? It is the new song from Megan Thee Stallion. It's on her new album that she released this last week. It's called Weeb Otaku Girls, I think. For whatever reason, hold on. God, it's all fucked up because Gore's messing with my music. Otaku Hot Girl is what it's called. Yeah. Yeah, for whatever reason, my song name thing is fucked. Sorry, when Gore fucks with my music, it means I can't go back to, like, see what song it was. Yeah, it's song name, but it's not working today, and I don't know why, and it's getting on my nerves. This is, like, the third time I've tried it to help me out, and, I don't know why it's not working. It really does just kind of pick and choose when it wants to work. This is awful. Why did I do that? That's why I did that? Sure, we'll say that that's why I did that. Coup de grace. Dory. With the chaps. Are you so fucking for real? Okay. There we go. Look good in all my photos. In Kyoto. Bitches local. Arigato. Arigato. Alright. Can't touch me like Gojo. Look good in all my photos. Well, hold on. I think I can fix it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Nope, doesn't want to work. I don't know. It's so weird. Oh, Iona. Okay. I really hate that they slowly raise. Scares the fucking piss out of me. Like Gojo. I'm sending in Kyoto. Bitches local. Arigato. Arigato. Alright, can't touch me like Gojo. Look good in all my photos. In Kyoto. These bitches local. Arigato. Arigato. Alright. I'm not the happiest about this setup, but we're gonna make it work. Can I drop you down? Okay, there we go. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh. I'm saving myself, but I'm not even really 100% sure how. I just need to get like a little radio thing so that y'all can always see what song it is. I'll have to set one of those up before my next stream, maybe. If I can. I would like to. I'll work on it tonight and have it set up before next stream, I think. Gotta be Gotti. Gotti. Woo! A sound equalizer or make it so that Grim can tell us? Yeah. Oh, thanks so much for the hydrate, guys. Does it count if I'm hydrating with a snow cone? Because that's what I'm currently up to. Damn. Bouncy bitches. Shut up, big body. Well, so if I make it to where Grim can tell y'all, I'm gonna have to ask the coder, Grim's coder, to add that to the software because that's not in his current software. He doesn't just know how to do that, Gore. Gore, Grim's baby. He doesn't just know how to do that. Shit! Snow is just frozen water. So true. Just teach him. I'm sorry, Gore, are you gonna come in here and recode him? Just teach him. Go to prison. Ah, shit. I was hoping I'd be able to catch it. Give him a treat and he'll just do it. Is that how that works? I didn't mean to move that. Ah, fuck. I'm always looking at the wrong section. I'm always looking at this bubble up here instead of what's above my head. Yeah, because I'm like trying to prep for like what my next move is gonna be. But then I forget that that's not what's currently in my arsenal. I'm not very smart. And I think that's my struggle with this game. Alright. Fuck me, man. This is so bullshit. I'm so bad. Who lets me be this bad at video games? And then I made it my career to be bad at video games. What is wrong with me? I said I'm gonna be dog shit at video games, and then I'm gonna try and make it my job. I'm gonna try and make a living off this. My kids are going hungry for the rest of their lives with my talent at video games. Jesus. Poor kids are fucked. Gamers are historically bad at video games. Is that true? Though I will admit, you don't really realize it until you're actively streaming. But being entertaining while also keeping up with a game is so fucking difficult sometimes. Like, trying to stay active in, like, what a game's trying to teach you or, like, what you're trying to do in a game while also being like, haha, funnies, like, ugh, it's hard. From time to time, it be getting difficult. Es difícil. Okay. Listen. Hey, we're rolling. That wasn't enough rolling for me. I'll play Yu-Gi-Oh! With Gore. Look. Please don't. Because you play Yu-Gi-Oh! With Gore, and suddenly all of our money is gonna vanish into a Yu-Gi-Oh! Addiction again. And I can't mentally handle that. I'm not even a good enough gamer to make money to feed my family. Don't curse me in this way. Ugh. Get over there! Touch! No. I want y'all to touch. I want y'all to touch, and I want to make it sexy. Touch sexy style, or I'm gonna cry. Babes. Just touch sexy style, please. Whatever. Gore used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, a long time ago. The amount of money that went into his Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing, though, was fucking ridiculous. Luckily, we had no fucking, we had, like, nothing that we were in charge of back then. Or else we would have been poor. Like, we would have been down and out. It would have been a rough time. I'm trying to, like, adjust some shit over here. There we go. Wait, no. Why are you going up? Don't do that. Wait, no, don't do that. Why are you going up? Stop. Please. Stop going up. I'm scared. Okay. That's fine. Stop going up. Why are you going up? What is the point of going up for? I'm so frightened. It's okay, don't cry. It's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm lying to my own goobas. Well, you know, everything would have been fine if Shaya's big-ass head wasn't there. I like that I'm cussing out these VTubers I've never actually met before in my life over their own little video game. Like, fucking Shia, move your big-ass head! And I'm like, never met this man. Are you gonna be mad at me? Tell me I was born to quit. I was touching go. I don't even know how that fucking happened. Here, come here. Alright, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I was trying to scooch it. Oh. I think it would make them happy to know that you're cussing them out in Gooba. You think so? You think Buff Pup hears stories at conventions about people cussing her out in Gooba Ball and it makes her laugh? I want to make Buff Pup laugh. One day. I want to make Buff Pup laugh. I feel like she has a really good laugh. She has a good hearty laugh. Wishy-washy-wa, good balls. Are you trying to bless my balls? Is that what's happening right now? Are my balls getting blessed right now? Because if so, thank you. Fuck! No! Yes! I win. Oh. God. Is the Gooba Ball gonna match my freak? No. The answer's no. What the fuck? What the fuck, Gooba? I wish I were dead. Bucky's? You mean the Bucky's that caught on fire? I heard about that. It's very unfortunate. Alright. We're back in it, gang. I know we were panicking a second ago, but the panic is over. We win. We may not win. But we will attempt to win. Rip Bucky's, Texas has fallen. I feel like Texas fell a long time ago. Bucky's was just the beginning of the end. Hey, girls, can we stay down? Me talking to the girl that's trying to eat me out but can't breathe around my fat pussy lips. I'm sorry. I didn't need to say all that. I said it, like, not even thinking, and then immediately afterwards was like, I don't need to open my mouth and be like that all the time. Sometimes I can be normal, you know? Like, I don't always have to say, like, the craziest thing that comes into my brain at all times. Jesus. You could be, but that'd be against your nature. I hate the implication that my nature is abnormal. Like, it's against your nature to be normal. Like, fuck me then. Damn. Can't do nothing right. Walk on by. Walk on by. Walk on by. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I don't care, I peep the town red. Bitch, I said what I said. Famous instead. Get to my head. I paint the town red. She a devil. She a bad little bitch. She a rebel. She put the foot to the pedal. It gon' take a whole lot for me to settle. She a devil. She a bad little bitch. She a rebel. She put her foot to the pedal. It gon' take a whole lot for me to settle. This is all in your memory. You know, she says she puts good dick on her kidneys. However, her boyfriend is a sex offender. Implying that his dick is, by assumption, not good, because it is not attached to a good man. Ugh. Ugh. I look better with no hair. See, that's what I said when I shaved my cooch, and then I was like, I miss the forest, bring it back. Don't worry, gang. The forest regrows as we speak. I'm so mad. I showed my intern how to change out pole lights. Ooh, glowing metal. Yeah, like, actually. Like, Doja, that man's dick is criminal. Doja, that man's dick is gonna put him on a registry. Like, Doja, you have to be better than this. We can't just be like this. We can't just accept that our men are like literal like criminals. We have to be better. Ladies. Ladies, we have to be better. Stop fucking dudes that harm other women. Like, we gotta do better. You found out your man hurt a woman? It's not your man anymore. He's for the streets. You need to help actively put that man on a watch list. Like, what are we doing, gang? Oh, but he's a good man. No, he's not. He's an abuser. Get him out of your life. Kill him. Murder! I will accept murder. Nothing less. I will also accept a lot more. But murder is like baseline. Yeah, we don't fuck criminal cock. Come on, girls. Come on, ladies, pull it together. We're better than this. Would you accept $1 million? I mean, yes, but for what exactly? Gore, are you fucking with my algorithm again? I've been a nasty girl. Nasty. Gore's been trying to be a nasty girl for weeks. I can't keep doing this. Is somebody gonna match his freak? Is somebody gonna match his freak? Is somebody gonna match his nasty? Is somebody gonna match my freak? Is somebody with a new technique? I like the fact that I accuse Gore of fucking with my playlist, and he just doesn't respond and just dances instead. He just wants to be a nasty girl. Yeah, but like it's been non-stop. Someone save me from this nasty girl. I'm fucked, man. Gore has 2 modes, and nasty girl is both of them. I'm in danger. Gore can be whatever he wants to be. Y'all! Don't encourage this behavior. I trusted y'all. I'm being let down. No! Don't tell him to go off! Peach married a nasty girl confirmed. I'm not married yet. I can escape still. God, I'm so heated, enraged about the nasty girl I have dedicated my life to that I'm failing at Gooba Ball. How did this happen to me? First mistake was trusting us not to accept the nasty girl lore. If you can't handle me at my nasty girl, you don't deserve me at my freak. I can't. Gore, you are a menace. At this rate, I think Gore should just be the streamer. Why am I the streamer? He's obviously funnier than me. I like it just like that. I've been a nasty girl. I've been a nasty girl. I've become too serious in my old age. Whereas Gore has become the nasty girl he has always wanted to be. Age is treating us differently. Gore is getting gray hairs and becoming the nasty girl of his dreams. I'm aging and becoming old. I'm becoming an old lady. I'm becoming a literal fucking hag. Every day. I'm hag maxing, as the kids would say. Fucking hate the kids. What the hell are they saying, ever? Can the kids recreate English, please? Like, in a way that makes fucking rational sense. Because why am I in here saying hag maxing? In my bedroom by myself. Talking to a bunch of invisible people in my computer. How is this my life? I've achieved nirvana! Hi, Marcus! Sorry. I took a bite of my snow cone as soon as you started dancing in chat. And I just realized how fucking feral that probably sounded for you. Very sorry. My bad. Well, this is where we're at now, I guess. What the fuck? Sure. Oh, buff baby. You run into look maxing? Oh no. Oh, Gat. Jesus. What are these fucking kids saying? I need a translator. I need to know, I live with a child. I live with like a 9-year-old. And sometimes he be saying some shit. And I'm like, excuse my language. But I'd be like, nigga, what are you talking about? Like, huh? What words? What does that mean? I just fucking, these kids, man. They just be saying whatever. On Gat, for real, no Gronk. That's so puppy pilled. No cat for Grilly. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm like, I think what I hate the most about it is that all of it sounds like AAVE, but I've never heard that shit before a day in my life. And so I'm like, are the kids just creating new AAVE? Like, is that what's happening? Is the African American vernacular getting ridiculously complicated because the kids don't realize that that's what they're doing? Because I'm scared. So yacht, Peach. I'm gonna start calling y'all names. I don't want to be that streamer, but if the youth keep talking to me, I'm gonna implement slurs that I am allowed to say into my vocabulary. Because what the fuck are the youth even talking about half the time? What the Sigma? What does that mean? I have ridden thousands of miles. I have survived the deadliest trials. I've fought through battles you can't even dream. For a taste of your peppermint creams. Sword and shield are all that I've had. Conquer the evil over the land and their beacon of light at the end of the schemes is the thought of your peppermint creams. I'm talking about your boobies! The peppermint creams are your boobies! Your boobalicious boobies! Oh, God! This is why I'm not as cool as Mr. Beast. I don't want to be. What the fuck is Phantom Tax? Jesus. What if I think I should just kill myself, actually. I think killing myself would be easier on my body than trying to understand whatever the fuck it is the kids are saying. Because I am apparently 87 years old. And this is fucking ridiculous. Shit! I fixed it. Think of the FOMO, the fear of missing out. I don't have that anymore. If you want to be completely honest, I would rather miss out on whatever the fuck is coming next for this fucked up piece of shit excuse of a country. Because if it means I can avoid one more stupid fucking phrase that the kids come up with, I will be the happiest I would ever be. Being dead would be a relief. Compared to whatever the hell it is that children are saying nowadays. And I worked in a middle school. I was forced to listen to these little fucks. And I still don't understand what the hell they were saying half the times. And don't get me wrong, I love those bitches. But also, what the hell were they talking about? Hands on your knees, shaking ass on some thought shit. Anyways, are y'all shaking ass on your thought shit? Because those are words that I understand. Thought, ass, shake. You know, like, normal human words. This is why you don't have a Chili's sponsorship. Send me one Chili's tweet where they're using any of those dumbass fucking words. And I'll accept that. Bum, 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 bum. And no, I don't have a Chili's sponsorship because I'm black. Duh. They're racist. I'm never getting a Chili's sponsorship now that I've said that. God. Fuck me. In the least sexual way possible. Fuck me. I'm not even reading that, Yiggy. I can't. I can't. I can't. My brain will explode. And I'll die right here live on stream. I think this is just one instance where I'm just gonna be a boomer and refuse to keep up with the kids. I just refuse, like, blatantly. I'm just gonna be like, what do you say? I don't understand. Sorry, it doesn't, it's not real. Like, oh, boomers can't accept the future. Yeah, well, if this is what the future is, then fucking call me a boomer, bitch, because I refuse to accept it too. You don't have a TTS? No, I don't. I will have one, but I don't have one right now. Look, there will be one. But it's not right now, so that y'all can torture me. And force me to learn youth slang. Ugh. The youth. I love the idea of shivering in fear of the youth. Why does it do that? Why does it bounce? Why do they all jiggle in the grossest way? With your feet lied, you know Lil Juke made it. The tip and subs have TTS? Yeah, they do. Yigi doesn't have the money for that. Hold on. It's the only time I've been happy my friends have no jobs, is so that they can't use the money they make from their jobs to torture me at all times. Like, I always wish that my friends have jobs that support them. But in this exact moment, thank God Yiggy doesn't have a job, because fuck. I'd die. This is fucked up! Look! You're making me think about the way the children speak. I can't do it anymore. I don't have the strength. Bitch, I sense your greatness like a motherfucking Yoda. Like I'm Yoda. Hey, Well, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. This is fine, though. Oh, it's no longer fine. Maybe it's fine again? No, I don't think it's fine again. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not fine again. Why is this my life? Chat's trying to force me to speak like they're gross children. Chat doesn't even like children, it's the craziest part. Chat's just full of child haters. And yet here they are, torturing me. Ugh. Alright. Why is she making that little, like, uh-oh face at me? Like, this is the best day in her fucking little dog life. I'm frightened. Oh, that was a bad time. Wait. No! I'm only wishing poverty on my friends that wish to use their money to torture me. You spent the entire first half of stream talking about my hole? Yeah, what about it? I've got a nice, sexy hole. I don't understand the problem. If you know what you've got, flaunt it, or whatever the fuck they say. The rich people say. I don't know what the fuck rich people say. Shut up, it's bad apple time. You can't be mad at me, bad apple's playing. That's not how any of this works. You're not legally allowed to be upset with me while Bad Apple is playing. Yiggy, I can't even see your messages. I try and look at them and I immediately go blind. Just the attempt makes me go blind. I'm sorry, there's nothing else I could do. Look, you make one too many dark joke and, you end up in a bad place for the rest of your life. Gore, don't. Gore, don't. You haven't gotten paid yet. Do not. Do not. Do not. Do not. Do not. Do not. Absolutely do not. Because then your money is gonna be stuck in the fucking hell totem that is my fucking stream elements until I make enough money to cash out. It's just gonna be stuck there forever. Stop. Don't. Don't do the thing. Please, God, no. Stop. Gore, if you do the thing, I'm sending you back to therapy. If you do the thing, I'm demanding family therapy. And I refuse to let you get around it. I was gonna do $1. No, no, Yiggy, you need your money. Your money's more important than torturing me. Absolutely, it is. Fuck! I'm gonna stick a knife in my cunt. I'm sorry. I get easily angered. I personally wouldn't say it was debatable. I think that's a true statement. All right.
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Yeah, we're Skibbity Giant maxing with peak W Riz Pure Phantom.
You didn't get paid until tomorrow. What are you talking about? Gore. I hate you. I want a divorce. I want a divorce and I want chat to pay for it. You got paid early and this is what you spend it on instead of something like fun for me? There's no love in this marriage. We've been in a dead-end marriage for years, chat. This is all the proof of that you would ever need. We're going to Korean barbecue tomorrow. Yeah, but that's like for you. Oh, my head hurts. I ain't pop my pussy. My head hurts. Go. Get down there. Oh, Jesus. Okay, everything rearrange. Fall where the cards need to fall. Not my fucking Autobot being like, would you like to donate money? As if Gore didn't just donate way... I almost said way too much money. It was fucking 420 because we're fucking dumb as rocks in this house. Oh, fuck me. Fuck! I wasn't looking at the thing. Why do my burps taste like chocolate? I haven't had anything that's chocolate. How is it wasting money if it just goes to you? Because it has to sit in the system until I make enough money to pull it out. And so, like, it just sits there until I make enough money to pull it out, and so we don't know when we're actually gonna be able to have access to that money. So it's not actually, like, going to anything, it's just sitting. Also, Gore, I might have to rig my model soon. Dun, 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 dun. Did the tip add to the bar? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't even remember what the bar was at, if you want me to be completely honest with you. And she won't look at you, won't look at you. It was $4, it'll be fine. Okay. I have anxiety. I have severe anxiety, gang. Don't call my name, don't call my name. Alejandro, I'm not your babe. It says 25. What was it at before? I don't even know what it was at before. That was the question. Hold on. We're switching music. Okay, this song's a banger, so we'll stick there. Did y'all see my model leak that I posted? Leak teaser that I posted on Twitter. I posted a little teaser for my new model on Twitter. It's the only one that y'all are gonna get for right now. I mean, y'all are gonna get more. I'm gonna post more teasers. I'm not just gonna like post that and then post nothing else ever again. But y'all will be getting more teasers. I pinky promise. It just won't be like a whole bunch because I don't want to spoil everything. But y'all will get fun little teasers. Bro, if my brothers do not buy me something from Anime Expo, I'm going to jump them in their sleep. I'm gonna show up to their house and jump them. It was at 20, and after my tip, it says 25. Oh, weird. I don't know. Oh, it may have been because you did 420, And there may have already been like cents in there. It doesn't count the cents on the bar itself, but it does count it in the coding. So it may be because you did 420. Somebody else may have done like a 420 later on or earlier on. So that could be why. Ooh, from the windows of the model homes, I'll never be that close again to your lips and perfect skin. As the time receded into the unknown, northern lights filled our skies. Empty nights synchronize. Northern lights fill our skies. Empty nights synchronized. I mean, we need to test the tip page anyways to make sure it's all still working. I mean, it is. Nothing about it has changed, so. And Ducky tests it like once every couple weeks anyways. She comes in here and like donates as if like she thinks like I'm not gonna see that she's in chat. And I'm like, babes, I have a decent amount of viewers, but never so many that like I'd miss that you were in chat. Which I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, okay, we're gonna rant for a second. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, man, so weird, because like a lot of people want to become big VTubers because they want to make money. Like that's the core behind it. Like we can't pretend like people, you know, there are probably other reasons, but money is usually the biggest factor as to why people want to become big VTubers. Which is fine. I get it. You know, you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta take care of your family. I get the vibe. But something I've noticed is that, or at least for like indie streamers, something I hear a lot of viewers for indie streamers say a lot is that they like the indie streamer because that indie streamer always communicates with them in chat. Which is part of why I love being an indie streamer, is because I'm able to communicate with people one-on-one in chat. Because it's not like overwhelming. There's not like such an overwhelming flood of information and text that I can't, you know, give you guys like my one-on-one like divided attention. But I hear that a lot from a lot of people who watch indie VTubers is like, oh yeah, well I prefer indies because like they can communicate with me. But I think a lot of people like don't think about that whenever they're like, oh, I want to be a big VTuber, I want to reach partner, I want to do all this. Because they're thinking about it from like the long-term goal standpoint, which is, well, I need the money. And that means more money or more viewers or more success or whatever. And then whenever they get to that point where they have so many viewers that they can't communicate with people one-on-one in chat, I see them on Twitter and they're like, oh, I haven't seen a lot of my regulars lately and I miss them. And like, sometimes chat gets really overwhelming, and I'm like, well, yeah, like that's exactly what you wanted, though. Like, you wanted a busy chat that, you know, you wanted the busy chat that comes with fame. But what that means is that sometimes you'll lose your regulars, like the people who were around early on because they wanted that one-on-one communication, and they don't get that anymore now that you're big. So they're gonna move somewhere else where they can get that. Or like, you get overwhelmed with the amount of messages in chat and you struggle to keep up and you feel like you're not doing a good enough job, and it's like, well, you asked for that. But I feel like a lot of people forget that that's like a part of what comes with it. And so when it happens, they get like super overwhelmed. Not that it's a bad thing to be overwhelmed. I think anybody would be overwhelmed in that situation, whether they were prepared for it or not. But I feel like a lot of people really don't mentally prepare themselves for like what fame means, if that makes sense. Like how much will change when you're famous. Like, I don't know. I just always think about like hearing about how the Hololive girls had to like the ones that were indies prior to being in Hololive, hearing about how they had to ask for permission to stream with people that they used to stream with when they were indie. And the company being like, no, they're not famous enough, or no, we don't like the type of content that they produce. And it like isolating them from like friendships because they're so busy working all the time that they just they're not really like able to like reach out to those old friends anymore. And their corpo said, no, you can't reach out to them because of this, and this reason. And I don't know, I just think about all that kind of stuff all the time. And I just think, like, that's just crazy, you know? Like, how hard it is to be big and still have that close one-on... You really can't have that close one-on-one connection with your viewers anymore. And honestly, like, it would be nice to be a big VTuber one day. Like, I think it's something all, or at least most indie VTubers dream of. Being in a corpo or being a big name, well-known indie VTuber. And I can't sit here and, like, deny that that's something that, like, I've thought about myself as well. But I do think a lot about, like, how much of my viewership that I have now would I be leaving behind by doing that, you know? How many people that I really enjoy talking to that show up to my streams now when my streams are 20 people per stream would walk away when my streams become 200 people per stream. Or bigger, you know?
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Don't stop edging to my gya your gyat. Can we be ski by DEE? Is it so hard to mew woo? If you could edge to me, I could be ski by DEE.
I like how even the fucking voice to text didn't want to read that. Also, edging? Who are we edging? What? I'm having a serious conversation. I'm hearing edging? Thank you, Morrison. I'm thanking you, but it's not with my mouth. I have a middle finger up that y'all can't see. Yeah, it is a fine balance for sure. And yeah, Discord channels do have their value, but even then, like, it's hard to even talk in those because sometimes people, like, use it as a, well, you talk in your Discord channel, so we spoke there once and so we're friends now, so you have to do this for me. And it's like, ugh. There's definitely a fine balance. And like, I'm big on the no parasocial relationships shit. I get on to chat about that all the time. Well, not all the time, but like anytime it shows up, I'm like, hey, like, just a reminder, like, I don't do parasocial relationships here. Like, none of y'all are my friends. Y'all are my viewers. And I care for y'all as my viewers, and I love hearing about your days, and I love hearing about how things have gone for you, and all of that. But at the end of the day, like, y'all are my viewers. Y'all are not my friends. I don't know y'all. Y'all don't know me. Like... But I know that sometimes it's so much harder to make that balance be heard when you are bigger. I've also been writing since that combo. Oh my god. Kids should not be talking about edging. What the fuck? Why are the kids talking about edging? Wait a minute. Hold on. I think Morrison's having a completely different conversation than the rest of us all of a sudden. I'm a little frightened. Did you whatever you, I guess? I can hear the fireworks, but I can't see them. This is fucked up. Oh, that is fucked up. We don't really get, like, fireworks in our neighborhood over here. We used to in our old neighborhood, though. I think they're just stricter where we live. We live in, like, a nicer neighborhood now, so... Catastro feeling good. I mean, we do in, like, the more, like, ghetto areas, which is where, like, we used to live. But we don't really as much anymore. Also, thank you for the hydrate, Iggy. edging the line of where you want to be as a creator. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I know where I want to be as a creator, and I do want to be big name, but it's not for the reasons that I think a lot of people want to be big name. It's just because, like, it's a childhood dream of mine to, like, be a content creator. Like, I need to find that journal, but I have a journal. I talked about this last stream, or a couple streams ago, but I had this theory, quote unquote. I had this dream, essentially, that I was going to die before I turned 21, or on my 21st birthday, or like in the year that I was 21. And so, to make sure I didn't die as depressed as I lived, this song is not a good song to go with what I'm talking about. To make sure I didn't die unhappy, or at least, like, completely disappointed in everything I had done in my life, like I kind of had been up until that point, I decided I was gonna write down a list of things I wanted to do before I ultimately died at 21. And on that list were things like, make a YouTube channel, film vlogs. I was really into watching vlogs back then. But I really just, at the end of the day, just wanted to make content. I think, vlogs were really all I, like, watched at the time, like, vlogs and Markiplier. And I truly didn't think I'd be an entertaining enough gamer to be a professional, like, game YouTuber, so I kind of, like, gave up on that, like, super early. But either way, like, there's a bunch of stuff on that list that were some, like, personal things, such as, like, having my first kiss, going on my first date, and then there were other things on that list that were, like, I wanted to host a panel at a convention. I wanted to have a YouTube channel with a specific amount of followers. I wanted to, like, I don't know, I think I did have on there, like, I wanted to record at least one, record and upload at least, like, one gaming video. I'm trying to think of, like, what else. I need to find that journal, honestly. If I can find that journal, I'll show it to y'all live on stream. Like, I'll pull out my webcam and, like, show it to y'all live on stream. But I like, listed out all these things that I wanted, and I think I've always just wanted to be creative because it gives me an outlet. In a way where I felt like I never really had one. And, you know, like, I didn't die at 21, I'm 25. And I'm not dead. So, that didn't work out the way I thought it would. And by work out, I mean I didn't die. But I still, you know, like, I still want to achieve the things on that list. And I think a part of, like, my want to be a big VTuber comes from that. It comes from wanting to heal my inner child and prove to her that, like, look, we did it. Not only did we not die at 21, you freak, we continued to live and made amazing things out of our life being older than 21. You know, you thought 21 was the end all to be all. That, like, you make it to 21 and it's okay for you to just fucking off yourself. Ooh, gooba. I got a gooba! You know, like, you make it to 21 and you are more than welcome to, like, off yourself. You know, like, just take them out. Because nothing good in your life is gonna happen after that. And, not true! I gave birth to the best little creature in the world at 23. Brought her home at 24. I will be getting married here soon-ish. I'm streaming and making the content I always wanted to in my own little space, and I'm happy. Genuinely. Like, I'm still on antidepressants, but that is less to do with me being happy and more to do with a chemical imbalance. But, you know, like, I'm genuinely happy. And I'm doing something that I love doing, and it makes me happy. And I don't know, like, I want to prove to that little girl that, like, everything is gonna be okay. You know? You don't have to die at 21. because better things are coming even after 21. And I don't know, to be able to look myself in the mirror and see that little girl in the mirror and tell her, like, look at what you did. You became a VTuber at 20. You know? You hit your first, you know, you hit partner that same week. Or you hit, not partner, fucking the A1, whatever. You know, like, you've been really putting your all into it. You went through a really, really, really terrifying and rough pregnancy, but you got through it, and now you've got a gorgeous baby at 23. And yet you're still able to be creative and do the things that you love. Affiliate, thank you. You know, and the baby hasn't stopped you from living your life and doing the things that you love. If anything, she's just giving you a bigger push to continue to do the things that you love because you want to have things to show her. You want to be able to hold out the merch of your VTuber, or for her to find it in a closet one day long after you've retired and ask you about it, and you be able to tell her that, yeah, I did this. While being a mom, I did this. I made merch. I was popular. You know, like, I went to conventions and I got to meet people who told me I made their lives better. I can use my own experiences to encourage her that she can do it. She can do anything that she wants in the same way that I can. You know, like, that's what I want. Like, is the money from that kind of stuff nice? Yes. Is it necessary for a lot of those things that I want to achieve? Absolutely. And so because of that, I kind of have to be money driven, because, like, to have any of the things that I want, you know, it requires money, unfortunately. But at the same time, like, to be able to look at myself and be proud of what I've done with my life for the first time in my entire life, like, that changes my life. The idea that I could do that changes my life. Oh, fuck yeah. Also, you got a deadline extension. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I genuinely think being grown up is just about making our childhood selves happy. And doing what you can to extend your life to the fullest, you know? And that's what I want to do. I just want to extend my life to the fullest. I want... Good night, Yiggy. Thank you for coming. But I don't know. I want to be able to change people's lives. To give my own life more purpose than it already has, if that makes sense. Like, my life has a purpose. I'm a mom, and a wife, and a friend, and a sister. You know, and that all of those things matter and mean something. But I want to be able to give myself even more of a purpose by changing other people's lives and making them happy. You know? If that makes sense. I don't know. I'll get off my fucking high horse. But it's been on my mind lately. But also, I am gonna say this before I get off my high horse. It's not that I want to. I'm going to. I'm speaking it into existence. So that we can come right back to this fucking Gooba Ball stream by this time next year. Where I say right here and now that all of the things that I've ever wanted for my career, every single bit of it, being able to do charity streams and match the amount of money raised, being able to buy my family a house where my daughter can grow up and be safe, being able to be invited to conventions and hold meet and greets and sell my own merch and maybe even join a corpo one day if that's something I want to do, and have collabs with people that I never even dreamed of being able to speak to, much less become friends with. All of those things from a year from now are going to be my reality. And I want to be able to come back to this stream, to come back to this VOD, and see it. See this, hear me saying it. And know that with all of my heart I believe it. Like, I genuinely do. I'm gonna get there my own way. You know, like, I'm not gonna be weird or backhanded or petty about it. Because at the end of the day, I want to make people happy. I want to, you know, make people's days better after they've had a hard day at work or a hard day at school or any of that shit. But I know what I want. And I want to be able to make things that make people happy. And I want everything that comes along with that. Simple as that. I want to make people happy with all of my heart. And so I'm going to. Easy as that. And I'm going to make myself happy along the way. You know? I'm gonna find my own happiness while I strive to make other people happy too. Simple as that, babes. Simple as that. So, I don't know. But, we'll be there. Anyways, I think that's gonna be my last round of goobas. Because I need to go take a shower because I'm not streaming tomorrow, by the way. I know, I say all that shit and I'm like, by the way, I'm not streaming tomorrow. But I'm not. Because Gore wants to introduce me to some friends that he's made. So we will be going on a double date. So I can meet them. Which I think will be very fun. So, I will not be here tomorrow, but I will be streaming the rest of the week. And since we finished Donut County today, we're just gonna get straight into Lies of P on, Friday. Yeah, Friday. I have to remember what day it is. Today's fucking Thursday, right? Or Wednesday? Thursday. What fucking day is it? What is today? The 4th? Today's Thursday. Okay, Saturday. I'm looking at my fucking calendar. I made a calendar, by the way, that has like all the games I'm gonna play on it and like what days I'm gonna play on it, and I'm gonna update it like every week. Yeah. So Saturday, when I get back, I'll stream Saturday, and then we'll start with Lies of P, which has been hyped up to me as like one of the best non-Souls, like Souls-like. Like, it's not a Soulsborne game, but it's been hyped up to me to be, like, the best replica. Without being made by the same people, so... I suppose we shall see. I got work tomorrow? Well, I won't be streaming tomorrow. It'll be Saturday, sorry. Because tomorrow I'll be gone. I'll be out at a Korean barbecue. I'll be getting yummy nummies. But Saturday... Which I think Saturday's a good day to start it, because a lot of people are off work on Saturday. And so that way everybody can be a part of it. But it's a game I've been wanting to play since it came out, but I missed the release date. And then I wasn't streaming at all, like, when it came out. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll just buy it and play it on my own at some point. But I never bought it because I knew I was like, I'll buy it when I know I have the time to play it. And I never did, and it was on sale for the Steam sale, and I'm streaming again now, so I was like, well, might as well get it now, you know? Shouldn't miss out. So I grabbed a copy on Steam, and we'll start that up Saturday. Have fun. But baby, when you're done, you gotta be the first to run. Oh god. Shit! Oh. Not shit? Shit. Okay. Boys, they're like a little danger. Look at him falling for a stranger. A player singing I love you. Nice! Manifesting. Gore's just manifesting it because he wants to be a house husband. Don't let him fool you. Sometimes I go back to my old streams and I was like, man, I was so much funnier before the additional trauma. But it's fine. I got a unique little taste to me now, I think. So, it's not the end of the world. taste defeat. Rule number 4. Gotta be looking pure. Kissing goodbye at the door. Will leave you wanting more, more. Ugh. No! Damn it! Touch! What do you mean that's not touching? Okay, we got it. Sorry, I shouldn't have panicked, but I did. So, it's too late. Can't change anything about it. We are manifesting. Only the best for us. But I need y'all to know. When I go big, I'm dragging y'all with me. I expect to see y'all at my meet and greets. I expect to see y'all, you know, if you can afford it. I expect to see y'all, like, at my things. Because I want y'all there, you know? Y'all are my OGs. There are quite a few of you guys that have been here literally from day one. And I have no intention of leaving y'all behind, you know? And I have every intention of doing everything I can to make sure that you guys don't ever feel forgotten in all of this. Did I beat your score? Not on this run. This run's going to ass. I don't know. I just feel like you can't forget the people that put you where you are, you know? Like, that's bullshit. I don't know. I'm not about that life. I don't ever want to forget the people who brought me to where I am today. It feels ungrateful. I just got here! It doesn't matter! Peach had a sign and be like, are you this viewer? Show me your Twitch account. Look. Okay. Y'all can clip this too. When the day, I'm not even gonna say if, when the day comes that I am able to have a meet and greet, if you show me your Twitch account and you are one of my OGs and I recognize your name, which I will because I'm like a fucking elephant, I will bring special items to meet and greets specifically for y'all. I will bring merch that I can get my hands on. I will bring exclusive stickers. I will bring my fat fucking lips. And you will receive something from me. Whether it is free merch, whether it is stickers, whether it is a big fat fucking hug where I step on your toesies, whether it is a kiss on the lips. It would depend on what I have. It depends on what I have available. But if you were able to show me your Twitch, and it is a name that I recognize as one of my OGs, you will be getting something special. Simple as that. And y'all can clip this because that's a promise. That is a fucking promise. Yeah, but Gorgeous kisses all the time, so it's whatever for him. He's used to that shit. He gets special treatment. I'm talking about for the rest of y'all. Yeah, Gore doesn't count. He gets free merch and special treatment all the time. It's whatever. I also... Okay. How many of y'all are in chat right now? Hold on. Let me go look before I say anything. Okay, there's 10 of y'all. Supposedly. Twitch lies about how many people are in chat sometimes. Okay. Supposedly there are 10 of y'all. So I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Come here. Get close. Get close. Get close. So... You remember how I said I wanted to release merch the same day as my 2.0, but I was struggling to find any companies that would take me? I still have not found a company that will take me. However, I have started to do some work behind the scenes to self-post my own merch. I don't know for sure how well it's gonna go. So this is why I'm only saying it with the 10 of y'all here. Supposedly. Supposedly 10 of y'all. because this may not work out. And I don't want to get everybody's hopes up for something that may or may not work out. But I need y'all to know that I am trying so hard to get at least one type of merch made in time for the 2.0. Currently, what I am working on is Booba mouse pads, because I have done those by myself in the past, and I know how to. However, I will not be using the same company I used in the past due to the issues that I had with that company. So I am still currently trying to find another company that I can do that through. That'll make it easy. But it is something that I'm working on. And I am still reaching out to companies about sponsoring me for merch. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get it figured out in time for debut. Fingers crossed, I'll be able to get it figured out in time for debut. But I can't make any promises, because it really isn't up to me at the end of the day. It's up to these companies. But I need y'all to know I'm fighting tooth and fucking nail for this, because I want y'all to have this so bad. I would also like to say, if I am able to get merch, the goal is to push back debut until I receive the test merch, which I will be giving away for free on my stream, depending on how much I get. So we will be doing the best we can. That is all. And again, I probably won't talk about this much because like I said, it's a huge work in progress. And I really don't want to get everybody's hopes up like super high only for it to not work out. But I do want y'all to know that I am trying my fucking damnedest to get this to work itself out. Because I really want it to work itself out. So, just know I'm fighting for y'all. That is all. Plus, like, everybody likes boob mouse pads. And the sea. Merch will be elite. That's the goal. That's the goal, is to make the best merch I possibly can. But I need y'all to know when I'm going into this, I'm looking at quality. I'm looking at, I'm looking at product quality. I'm looking at art quality. I'm looking at like all of that. So if I can't get something that works up to what I think you guys deserve, I'm gonna wait. I will wait until I am able to get something that is what y'all deserve. But if I am able to get it, debut will be amazing. So, that is all. Top secret. Top secret. Keep that to yourself, by the way. Don't go on Twitter and start fucking shouting that shit from the rooftops. I don't need everybody getting all excited. I'm honestly so surprised Gore's not like, why don't you show off the model? Because Gore is like that little voice in your ear that's just like, well, I'm excited about something, so you need to share it with everyone. Though, to be fair, I have sent my model to a lot of people. Mostly to get opinions and feedback, because I've been a little nervous that it won't be liked as much as I like it. Like, I love it, but I'm a little nervous that nobody else will like it as much as I like it. So I've mostly been sending it to other people as like a, please tell me this is good. But All of those people are people that I trust to keep it in the belt, you know? I also may have threatened them to keep it a secret between life and death. So... but that's neither here nor there. You absolutely should not spoil the model? I don't know, y'all. It sounds like Gore's trying to tell me to spoil the model. I don't know, gang. Sounds like Gore's trying to tell me to spoil the model. Between like and a lawsuit. Don't do it. Bad bitches are the only things that I like. I just, Not Gore threatening me with a knife. Oh God, I just actually cranked my background music. I did not mean to do that. Sorry, YouTube watchers. I mean, yeah, he might be using reverse psychology. You make a real good point. He might be. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna show y'all. Sorry. But I'm not gonna show you. I'm not gonna show you. Maybe later, gang. Maybe later, gang. Make it a dono sub goal? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyways, I will see you guys on Saturday for the amazing Lies of P. So until then, be safe, have fun, eat ass, smoke grass, lick pubes, fuck dudes. And I'll see y'all then. Bye!